the negatives of moving to the Bay Area. I bet you have heard about the high home prices, the traffic congestion. Absolutely. But let me dig deeper so that I don't just sell all the rosiness of the Silicon Valley or San Francisco Bay Area. I am at 25 years, have lived in the Bay Area and nowhere else, and I'm most likely not going to move anywhere else other than living in the Bay Area. And so I'm going to describe from the insider's living experience, first-hand living experience, as to what you can see as the positives and negatives, or more than positives, just the negatives today. I'll give you the positives in another episode. Watch me on the next one. So the first and foremost, the home prices and how the home price, different causes cause a high home value, home price, or the cost of home ownership. The first and foremost, and each one of us know, is the home price itself. The home prices in the Bay Area are almost amongst the highest. In fact, Atherton has the highest home values. If you go and look at Atherton as a zip code on any of your favorite websites where you search for homes, you will see they have America's highest home prices. Not even the Hollywood. People think that Hollywood is so glamorous or New York is so heavy and you will find the highest home prices. Atherton, look at it. That's the biggest one. The second one though is because of the fear of earthquakes. They don't really happen that often. I have myself experienced about 2 or 3 in the last 25 years, and I myself felt about 1 or 2 out of the 4 or 5 that I might have happened in the 25 years. But the cost of earthquake insurance is now going out of bounds. So you have to factor in the cost of earthquake insurance also. Additionally, HOAs are going through the roof. Not everybody lives in a single family home that does not have an HOA, but the HOAs are also going out of the roof. So that is something to note. So this is about the housing piece. Next, let's talk about traffic. After LA, San Francisco Bay Area has the most amount of traffic. I always tell my clients, be prepared for an average 45 minutes commute. And that's what you are going to look at when you sit in your car. You do have Caltrain on one side, BART on the other, and the BART is now coming full circle slowly. The Caltrain has been completely electrified. So there is some public transport, granted, but it is nowhere close to New York's subway system. And it does not serve the far-flung areas too well. Like South Bay has VTA. San Mateo has SMTA, San Mateo Transport Agency. AC Transit is in Alameda. So there is some local transportation, but irrespective, I myself have once tried to go to San Francisco to fly out of the Bay Area. Guess how much time it must have taken for a 54-minute drive to the airport? It took me almost 4 hours, and we were about to miss the flight that day. So transit is really bad, commute is also bad, and the local transportation is not that good. Well, Uber and Lyfts are kind of compensating for those things. But San Francisco Bay Area is still better than a lot of LA, where you might just have to keep sitting in your car for about 3 hours and such. So, transit. Now, number 3, San Francisco Bay Area is extremely demographically diverse. You will see the whole world becoming a melting pot here in San Francisco. But yet, you have to realize that there are communities and pockets and areas where you may or may not always be able to mix, and that might become a problem. Or you might find your own pockets and your own groups, and things will go very well for them. My typical advice to my clients is to find people that are equally educated as you are, that make as much money as you do, that work in the same field as you do, and perhaps have kids the similar age as you. It will help you mingle much better. And that approach, if you use, works very, very well. So think about that aspect. Additionally, on this social aspect, Bay Area being so tech heavy, if you do not understand the world of technology, or you're a dentist, or you're a civil engineer, it becomes very difficult to socialize with the most of the people who are around you. And so that might become a social issue with getting together with people. So that's that. Now let's discuss education. Bay Area schools are one of the top-notch schools. The Palo Alto, Cupertino, Saratoga, Mission, San Jose High, San Ramon for that matter, all these schools are fiercely competitive. And you will have to prepare your kid to face this fiercely competitive environment. And some people just think that they are not meant, or they don't want to be in a fiercely competitive environment. So you need to make a call whether you want to be in that environment where these kids know how to compete with each other and get ahead, or you want to be the ones that would be left behind or want to take an easy style. So think about those aspects for yourself. Bay Area has Stanford, Bay Area has Berkeley, and some other great schools around in the area, and that's what gives you the benefit of this thing, going to elite schools. The next is Bay Area has very good health related infrastructure. When it comes to specialists and all, you get the specialization that you want for care that you need. But at the same time, specialist care, specialization comes at a cost of being able to or not being able to get appointments at the right time, number one. And number two, even if you do get specializations, cost high. They are costly, they cost much more money. So that might be the other negative side. Bay Area has a perfect blend of climate and weather. So if you look at the weather, the big issue that you might face is if you are driving from San Francisco and coming down into San Jose, San Francisco might be foggy, rainy and cold, downright cold, and by the time you reach San Jose, you will need to throw out your sweater, your full sleeve shirt, and you will need to be on half sleeves. So you have to be prepared for a big difference in the microclimates in San Francisco. You just have to adjust to that. Now, one last thing that most people will not tell you or don't have to speak or who don't speak about is the roads, for most part that I have been driving, have been in shambles. In other parts of the country, the streets, the bridges are in much better shape as compared to what sometimes you see in the Bay Area. Most recently, I have been seeing a lot of money being spent on redoing the roads in several areas, but as a general matter, I have seen streets, bridges, and other infrastructure in a bad shape. A lot of times, this is probably because this is all pretty old and does need much more budgetary allocation. But nevertheless, I still won't move out of the Bay Area. I live here, I enjoy it every bit, I drive through the traffic. It's like this: if you are from an upward area, a really mobile area where things are happening, you are going to see these things happen. Otherwise, you will just have one Denise in your town, no bridges in your town, no industry to pay you, and it will be quiet and happy, and you will have no issues. It's your choice how to live. So I hope this was helpful. See if anyone will benefit from this. Thanks for watching. See you in my next one.